Howdy, howdy!
Hello.
And welcome to But It Was Aliens, the paranormal comedy podcast where we probe paranormal activity to decide for the questionable benefit of humanity whether that activity really was paranormal. My name is Mr. Kev in the John, and alongside me with no idea what we'll be covering today is Mr. Granville Moonwalker. Today, you may fill your pants, Mr. Moonwalker, as we straddle the fine line between mental health and the paranormal. Ooh. Do you want to be here? This is going to be a one-man show today, I see. We begin today's tale.
Fine line, you say?
I do say.
How fine is that line?
Well, we're going to find out how fine that fine line is.
Is it a fine line that wobbles?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
We begin today's tale in South Korea. In the mid-1900s, the Korean War was fought for 3 years from 1950 to 1953 before an armistice. No peace treaty was signed, meaning that the war technically is still going and could legally kick back up at any moment. That can create a lot of instability on top of the horrors of war. Territory had changed back and forth, and civilians had to fight for and destroy each other's property and take food to survive, for example, as their homes and lives were destroyed. Couple that with the fact that pre-World War II, mental health treatment hadn't really developed towards what we know today, and before this time, shamanism and other religious practices were followed, as far as I've been able to ascertain through journal articles and the internet. Even after the Second World War, there were only a few psychiatrists across the whole country, meaning that there was no national policy on the matter. Just to be clear though, shitty practices were still going on in other countries. By that Korean War of 1950, about 300 mental health beds were available nationwide, spread across something like 5 hospitals. Electroshock therapies were utilised, as were insulin shock therapies, where people were given large doses of insulin, resulting in daily medically induced comas over several weeks. Basically, torture. With all the horrors I've outlined, mental health begun being seen in Korea as a key component of a healthy society. It was time for psychiatry to develop. It was against this backdrop that the Gonjiam Asylum was built at the bottom of a mountain just outside of Gwangju near Seoul, Korea in 1961. The hospital was big, covering 3 entire floors, meaning that this place could house more than 300 patients at any one time. That's more than the whole country used to be able to accommodate, and this place was isolated. The ideal site to advance the treatment of those with poor mental health.
I have a question for you.
It's not about pronunciations, is it?
No.
Go ahead then.
Could you explain to me the difference between a legal war and an illegal war?
Well, countries can declare war on each other. That's legal.
Okay. Now, tell me an illegal war.
If I were to be a country and bomb another country without any declaration, there ain't no papers to say that's legal.
And what would happen if you were the one that started this and won?
Then you'd probably say that you were fighting for the lands of your people.
So what would happen to you? Like, if you do something illegal, you steal something, there's repercussions.
Well,
what are the repercussions if you start a war and win?
So it depends. If we want to look at history, so Germany invaded Poland in World War II at the start, yes, and then other countries declared war on Germany.
Okay.
So the repercussions of invading a country are that someone else is potentially going to declare war on you legally. Then you're at war.
Is it legal?
Legal war.
Is it legal?
Started by an illegal activity.
Fair enough. I concede.
I feel like I'm going to get poked some more as this goes on. Nothing to do with this case.
You mentioned legal war. Has everything to do with this case.
Well, it's the backdrop for the case, I guess, but as you're about to find out, not an awful lot to do with the details of this case.
Okay.
But it's the backdrop for this case, so it's got a lot to do with this case.
What's it good for?
Absolutely nothing! The Gonjiam had been built via a mysterious doctor who would both direct and treat at the hospital. The doctor therefore answered to himself.
Dangerous.
The hospital opened without any particular ceremony and ticked along rather normally. Nurses took care of the unwell and doctors did their rounds, diagnosing, theorising and prescribing just as you'd expect. The first 20 years, in fact, appear to have gone by without incident. Well, without news of any incidents escaping the grounds of the isolated hospital. I wouldn't say news, but rumours gradually started filtering out to the locals that inpatients had begun passing away in mysterious circumstances. We aren't talking one or two, we are talking potentially hundreds. Further rumours picked up that the hospital housed South Korea's most notorious serial killer, a killer so disturbing that the government had tried to cover it up. The rumours would at first say that it was covered up so well that this killer's real identity wasn't even known by the staff at the hospital. They just thought they were treating another case of paranoid schizophrenia or identity disorder. But every now and then, when another inpatient was by themselves, vulnerable, this mysterious inpatient would strike and rack up those numbers, rack up further dog tags. The inpatients would turn up impaled or brutalised to the point self-injury could be ruled out, and the staff couldn't understand why no questions were being asked. Rather than tell the police and risk hospital closure, the hospital chose to cover up these deaths and suggest natural causes were to blame. Knife in the middle of the back? Natural. Signature and smiley face carved into the chest post-mortem? Natural. Practices continued on.
Did they send him here for punishment? Or were they trying to kind of figure out why he was doing these sorts of things?
A little bit of all of the above. So, hospital order rather than prison. A, because there's something potentially seriously wrong to try and treat him. B, identity is protected more, covers it up more if you go into hospital than if you come on the back of a notorious court case.
You've also, you mentioned dog tags, and there's a question here. How many dog tags do you reckon you've got? I want to say 4,100 and something.
That's a lot of bad company too.
It's a lot of bad company too.
Oh, when we had time.
I think I could tell you the specific number as well. I have it on my phone somewhere.
Why do you have it on your phone?
Because you used to be able to get your stats as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
Thing, and I've still got that. So I've got it somewhere on there.
So you're saying that you are a notorious murderer?
On Battlefield Bad Company 2, yes. I have more knife kills than I have with any other gun.
Because you're a sadistic murderer.
Yes. I think I've got one person's dog tags 15 times. I don't even know this person. Just a random game.
You're mine! I wonder if they retired from computer games after that match.
I need to remake that game.
Yeah. Or just make a good Battlefield again.
Yeah. Stop trying to go for these massive open world pure war things. Close combat like they did. I don't need these 128, 200 plus
Think of how many dog
Player
tags you
maps.
could get.
No,
What you need
because
is a lack of open space. You need corridors and corners to jump out of and get people in the back so you can get their dog tags. That's your real
Exactly.
issue. It's not the number, it's the layout that accompanies that number.
because the layout comes with vehicles, so everyone's in planes, helicopters, tanks.
You can't gank them.
Can't knife them from there. Give me buildings, bushes, the rest.
I need to feel it. I need to taste the blood.
Getting real close.
Word started spreading that a virus had broken out at the hospital, and this could explain why the family members of some of the inpatients also begun passing away mysteriously. They'd pop by for a visit, and then a week later, the hospital would receive a call to let them know that the family member had taken their own life or otherwise passed before their time. It wasn't just the inpatients either. Some staff had also gone missing, never to be seen again. Well, some weren't to be seen again. Others weren't so fortunate, and their bodies later turned up in rooms at the hospital, with it unclear how the bodies had got there. All these horrid deaths had begun leading to unusual goings-on at the hospital. Sounds would be heard, such as footsteps down the hallways when nobody was there. Screams could be heard from empty rooms at night. Family members visiting thought that they had seen figures and themselves went insane, soon passing or themselves ending up at the asylum back at Ground Zero, where their minds would be further damaged. Being so isolated to the outside world, to the authorities, this was just a quiet little place that treated the ill. Patients begun taking their own lives, unable to comprehend what they had heard or seen at the hospital. How could this continue?
So family would come visit
Yes.
and then go insane themselves.
Yes, sometimes.
Was there anywhere for them to get any food and drink on site?
Yes.
Now, how likely is it that the food and drink that they were having was laced with something?
By who?
By the doctor, but being given out by the staff, not knowing.
What were the
So-
motivations?
More patients coming in.
Financial
I mean,
gain.
what if not only financial, but some doctors are men of science, and we know how they like to continue their work, whether it's
You're going for twisted experimental doctor.
yeah, whether it's ethically correct. So let's say, for example, vending machine is filled with bottles of water.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of those bottles of water laced with a substance? Like you get a very, very small needle and you pierce the neck
Yeah.
and put it in. Then when they drink it, it doesn't necessarily come out because that hole is so small.
I hear
Just
you.
feels like a dribble.
I hear you.
Or is something laced in, let's say for example, they order salt or other food like that in large batches, and it's randomly mixed in with something like that. So not everyone has something, but some people might be susceptible to whatever is put in that substance.
More bodies admitted.
Yeah.
More funding from the government for said bodies, and more people to experiment upon.
Also, having that serial killer there and also keeping him alive is a good cover story if anything ever gets out.
Good shout.
I'm putting it all on the doctor right now.
Rumours begun swirling more and more in the local town. The doctors at the hospital were said to have been cruel, encouraged by an even crueler head doctor. Stories got out that the doctors would carry out experiments, intentionally overdosing inpatients, starving them, and locking them in rooms together without sleep for days at a time to see what happened. Maybe they'd even toss a knife in there to see if people would choose love or violence. The rumours said that the director of the hospital had himself gone insane with years alongside those with profound and enduring mental health difficulty. The director is said to have begun killing the inpatients himself, one by one, sometimes in wicked experiments, sometimes just because he could. If a member of staff caught on to what was going on, the director would whack the staff members too. And if a family member saw something they shouldn't, or even thought of asking a question, boom, whacked. Those almost ritualistic deaths we mentioned earlier may have been carried out by the freaking director of the hospital, not an inpatient. The doctor was fully aware that he was creating a haunted environment, and this may even have been part of his motivation to examine and harness the powers of the afterlife.
I think you should just give me a crown. I'm king of this shit.
Crystal ball.
So, the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, harnessing the powers of the afterlife, if that was his motivation.
Yeah.
Is it in terms of bringing the dead back to life, or creating life like Dr. Frankenstein?
Possibly both. Possibly controlling spirits. I don't think we really know. Could be any of the above.
Testing the human endurance?
Maybe testing. I mean, if you kill someone, then put their brain in some other entity, another body, and they come back to life. Is that afterlife?
If you did that, and they did come back to life,
Mm-hmm.
like, could you imagine waking up and you're in someone else's body? Like, would it essentially work? Because the pathways from the brain to the body,
to your body.
Yeah.
So theoretically, we could get to a point with technology that we could make those connections, but that's probably a long way in the future, if at all.
I mean, suppose if the brain was connected to the CNS, then it could work if given enough time to rewrite the brainwaves or the pathways.
Or maybe...
Son,
Yes?
how much money you got in savings?
Not a lot these days.
Want to sell your house, sell my house, sell the cars, and get a hospital?
I don't know what sort of hospital we're going to get for that money.
We might be onto something. If I disappear for a couple of months, don't worry.
I won't.
You also disappear, worry. Ground zero.
In the 1990s, the authorities finally caught on to what was happening at the hospital, and they came for the director. Now, there are two differing accounts as to what happened next. Some stories say that the director decided to take his own life rather than be discovered for what he was and captured. The director couldn't bear to live the type of life he had forced those captive to him to live. Having taken his own life on the grounds of the hospital, the doctor would continue his experiments in the afterlife. Yes, hauntings may have continued on due to the ghost of the director continuing to torment the ghosts of those he had murdered in life. This may be the most twisted scenario we've yet covered, and we've covered Stephanie Cohen having sex with an alien cat person. The other account suggests that the owner-director of the hospital mysteriously passed away in 1995. No benefactor was named, not even a distant cousin 12 times removed came forward, and nobody attempted to buy the hospital. The hospital, therefore, fell into ruin, a devil's playground of misery and paranormal activity. On that note, being that this is in South Korea, all the vlogs of this place are in Korean. There is one I saw where you can hear footsteps and a knock above the folks filming, and I'll link to an article with the Curious Archive that itself links to a few vlogs for those curious. But we can't take too much away from watching those, and they're about 30 minutes long.
I'm going to watch one.
All right. Of course you are. Do 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 do.
Do you want to go up here?
No,
This takes you to the rooftop.
absolutely not.
Thank you.
What I am surprised about, so they're on the roof and this is in South Korea, but the graffiti's in English.
Almost everyone in South Korea talks English.
I would have thought the graffiti would have been South Korean.
Not necessarily.
Talking English and writing English, two different things.
Well, most people in South Korea who've gone to school have learnt to write in English too. I say most, I've got no idea on the statistics. But we have a friend who lives there who has said similar and hasn't learned the language and has
can
lived there
barely speak the
about
language.
8 years or so.
Never change, rat boy. That was a very audible knock. And yeah, there is no way in hell you will catch me going into that place.
Yeah, there's loads of vlogs of people having gone to this place on the internet, but like I say, they're all in a different language and I can't really understand them.
So these people went in during the day.
Yes.
Are there anywhere
Yes.
they go in at night?
Yes.
They are psychos.
Yes. With the hospital closed and no closure available for the inpatients, no revenge, no real justice for the victims, the spirits could never rest. Screams could be heard coming from the abandoned hospital for years to come. Doors would shut as visitors, trespassers, walked past. At night, at the hospital, dark, mysterious figures have been seen wandering the premises by hundreds of visitors. This obviously made the site a tourist destination for the more strange and unusual among us, keen to do a bit of amateur ghost hunting come the 2000s. More and more trespassers would turn up eager to have the shit scared out of them. It was like a free Scaresville, which, for those not familiar, is a place you pay to visit and have strangers grope you in the dark and make you jump.
Been there, it's awesome.
Granville loves a good grope from a stranger. In the dark.
In the dark.
Some have graffitied their sightings on the old walls of the hospital to warn future visitors not to take the hospital lightly. To this day, you can Google this place and find comments on threads from visitors who have felt a presence or seen something they can't explain whilst trespassing at the derelict hospital. Locals remain reluctant to give directions to the site. In 2012, news company CNN named the hospital as one of the freakiest places in the world. The world, no less.
The world. So you've shown me a picture here with some graffiti.
Yep.
And there is a hand clearly drawn in blood.
Yep.
And then I'm scared as fuck by Cameron something. November the 1st, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, people have gone in. I suppose signing their name on the wall shows that they had the balls to go in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why they've done it.
Mm-hmm. Film it on your little vlog to verify you did it.
Mm-hmm. I will never be doing that. Definitely not on my bucket list.
No. Why do you think the locals won't give directions to the place?
I don't know whether it's a case of they're sick and tired of people going there and just, no, not giving it a bad name, but using it as a publicity stunt or trying to look hard when they just almost want it to be left alone.
Sick of the tourism.
Yeah. That, or they don't want to be the ones that gave them directions there, and then something happens there, and then they're like, well, we told them how to get there. And I don't mean happens as in they find something and something bad happens, but let's say they go there, they're messing about, and then they fall through like the ceilings.
Yeah, because it's derelict.
Rickety, yeah, and they fall through, hurt themselves, kind of be on their conscience. They go there messing about, fall off the roof, that kind of stuff.
Or maybe they want the spirits to be left alone.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, it's not, but there is that.
As we touched upon, whatever happened, the Gonjiam Psychiatric Hospital closed down in 1995. If you dare visit today, you can take the bus from Gonjiam Station in Seoul, and it will take you about an hour, or you can travel from Gangnam Style Station. The hospital is within a residential area and is surrounded by gates, CCTV and signs warning people away. There are no security guards though. Well, no alive ones. Well, there wasn't. Sadly, or perhaps happily, I don't know, the hospital was demolished in 2018. Does this mean that all those spirits have been released into the afterlife? Or does that mean that the spirits are no longer tethered to the hospital and can now wander the land freely?
It's possible that it's neither, and they are still tethered to the location.
It's tethered to the floor.
So, let's say, for example, another building is built there. To the spirits, they could still be walking through the hospital corridors. So if you were to, let's say example, wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go for a pee, and then all of a sudden you've got sleep in your eye, you can't see properly, and you look and it looks like you're in that hospital ward and there's someone walking towards you. Maybe it's like that. It's almost like in the other realm it's still there,
yeah,
but in your realm it's not. That would be freaky. Wake up, go for a pee, and you're in a psychiatric hospital.
I mean, that's never a good way to wake up, is it? We've covered the para, so let's just take a quick look at the normal. Non-believers have suggested that the hospital actually closed due to sewage problems they couldn't afford to repair following a change in Korean law alongside general financial ruin. These accounts suggest that the owner left South Korea and didn't document a reason for the hospital's closure, which only added to the rumours of the paranormal. Those rumours could have been heavily inspired by the fact that this place, being all dilapidated, looks bloody haunted. A 2018 South Korean found footage horror film called Gonjiam Haunted Asylum was based on the tale we have told today. One last bit of information before we summarise. The administrator of the building had tried to block that film from releasing due to fears the story would get out and lower the price or prevent the sale. Is that slightly suspicious? Oh, and one more thing. The director of the hospital didn't die, he just went to work at another hospital. The sewage issues cost too much to fix, and after the owner, who wasn't the director, died around 1997, the hospital fell into ruin. The director's children inherited the hospital. There isn't any real evidence of anything. It's all media and internet rumour, though I've absolutely given you the alleged truth. That is the probe.
Still the director.
Absolutely. The director-owner / doctor. Be a good way to cover it up and avoid suspicion, though, saying that, wouldn't it?
It would.
Honestly, it is due to sewage. Honest. The man's telling you it with 2 arms sewed on beneath his first 2 arms. Nothing weird went down there, mate.
Do you reckon you can still see that film today?
Yes.
Awesome. I think we should watch that film. At some point, probably in like 10 years.
Probably like
when
50
we've actually
years.
got time.
In our retirement.
Depends how bad the sewage issues are, really, don't they? Like, is it because let's say, for example, it was built and the wrong pipes were put in, or
regulations changed and it required a certain type of system / pipes,
or it wasn't, the pipes that put in weren't strong enough for the amount of sewage that was going to go through it, therefore kept causing issues, and then it would have cost way too much because they couldn't just fix it. It now had to be, because of the new
shit.
Yeah, pretty much, that came in, they had to redo the entire sewage system.
Yeah. Not cheap.
Not cheap at all.
And for a place that ain't making money.
Yeah. So the children inherited the place, and they didn't want to. Did they want to sell it, or tried to sell it but couldn't get a buyer?
I think they couldn't sell it because the sewage works would have cost more than the land.
But I wonder if you could have turned it into something else.
But you could buy cheaper land elsewhere and not have to do all that digging it out and starting again. You could just dig straight in. So you'd have been in negative equity immediately. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I mean...
significantly so.
Would you have to turn it into something that needs... Sewage?
Well, why else would you buy the land?
Turn it into a car park?
Probably not
basketball
the most financially viable.
Have you paid for parking recently?
Touche. Yes, I have.
Now think of that over years.
Should we buy a car park? In summary, we've explored the Gonjiam Mental Health Asylum near Seoul in South Korea. The hospital is isolated at the foot of a mountain, which is the perfect place to house a notorious unknown serial killer, and that's exactly what happened at the 300-bed facility, except that the hospital is actually next to a residential area. Inpatients started passing away, and at first people thought it was that serial killer, but rumours begun spreading that it was a virus after the family members of inpatients also started passing away. Then staff started dying too, and rumours began circulating that it was the doctors, led by the twisted director of the hospital. All this misery led to ghosts seeking vengeance, and these sightings caused people to lose their minds even further. Eventually, authorities came for the director, and he either skipped the country or took his own life. Only what actually happened was, allegedly, that the hospital fell into financial ruin. The hospital has since been knocked down rather than being repaired or rebuilt. Why? That is the summary. Are you ready to conclude, Mr. Moonwalker?
Did anybody actually die?
Well...
But I know some patients will die in a hospital, but I mean, was there a virus that swept through it? Did loads of people die? Did people that come to visit actually go back and end up in the asylum?
Cards on the table? Absolutely not. I researched everything I could find, and there's no verified records of any of this shit happening, basically.
Okay.
It's all sparked since the days of the internet, and it being a freaky, derelict building has basically led to tales being created because it had a twisted medical director. Are you saying that it's spooky?
That had a serial killer in there as well.
An unknown serial killer, no less, so he can't actually verify that.
Yeah, I'm ready to conclude.
Spookies?
Spooky that they didn't turn it into a car park and make loads of money. Other than that, no. After that last piece of evidence you gave me, there is no way I can say that this is spookies.
Yeah, this one's got quite a big reputation, but when you actually delve into it, there's not a single piece of
Evidence?
proper evidence. Yeah, it was quite interesting to learn about, but it didn't take long to find out that there was no evidence behind the rumours whatsoever.
The internet be internet.
Yeah, and there's genuinely absolutely loads of internet accounts and vlogs of visits, and people clearly believe that this one was spookies, but there's just literally nothing beneath those rumours, unless the authorities covered it up. Any final thoughts before we say toodle pip, Mr. Moonwalker? Cover up? Oh,
Covered up sewage pipes.
I'm not saying that it was spookies. But it wasn't.
Yeah, that's the only cover up.
Yeah. Well, that is a wrap for today. Thank you for listening to But It Was Aliens. If you have enjoyed the episode, firstly, what's wrong with you? And secondly, did you know that over at a secretly well-known place called patreon.com/But It Was Aliens, you can sign up to become a patron and support But It Was Aliens. As a little thank you for doing so, each month we release bonus episodes we call Side Probes.
Side probes!
In those darkest of probes, we explore paranormal mystery, history and conspiracy too probey for the main feed. You can become a patron on Patreon for literally less than a cup of coffee. If you have any suggestions for us to cover, you can get in touch with us at But It Was Aliens. You could also say hello on Facebook, where connected to But It Was Aliens is a secretly public private group called Being a member of grants you protection from the aliens when they invade. For the wildest of the probers, yes, we do have an asylum, and no, we don't put everyone in there allegedly truthfully, but it's there if we need it. The extraterrestrial asylum isn't haunted, but if you see any ghosts, you won't. But if you do say hello to Mr. Moonwalker the First for me. Not that you will. That is it for this episode, so until next time, can ghosts touch themselves? Truth is up there. Hashtag
The ghost in the corner just jacking it.
on stage.
I'm touching myself.